Oh, there's so many options here. Alright, good morning and welcome back to the Road to Better Chess. Another game, another morning, another try, hoping little man keeps sleeping. Alright, we got white, we're going to go d4, some main repertoire stuff. We're still working a little bit on the King's Indian attack as well. Oh, the Dutch! Okay. We are working on the King's Indian attack a little bit in blitz sometimes. Found an interesting move order this morning, which is bad for white, so got to learn about that. Okay, we're just going to go c4 and g3, and we're just going to play, I think it's called the fianchetto attack. I'm expecting e6 here, but could be g6. Black has to commit one of these points. Alright, cool. And we can play up and let them pin, but we could also just develop our bishop without getting pinned, which is good. Alright, we'll see if we can remember some of the theory here. Black is normally quite happy, well, not normally, sometimes quite happy to trade off their dark square bishop for something so that they get more control of the e4 square. But yeah, that's not impossible for us to fight against either, so we'll see what they do. Tried to make a green tea latte this morning, but I made a mistake. It's all milk. I should have steeped the tea bag in some water up front to extract more of the green tea before putting in the milk. So now I don't know if this is going to work out. Oh, the Stonewall. Okay, we faced this once before in this road to better chess, and our opponent started with c6 in that line, and we found that it might be possible to break. Alright, I don't specifically remember what I want to do against the Stonewall, so I might end up just kind of castling and then seeing if we can eventually get some kind of break in. Maybe we can overwhelm the pawn here in some way. Yeah, we wouldn't be too unhappy to see this. It's a hard board to defend and we get opened up, so we could probably go ahead with our knight. Importantly, we don't actually want to snap on e4 though. And the reason for that is because if I go up now and they take, then I can come in here. Okay, no, that's okay. And this is a Catalan kind of pattern that we need to remember. Alright, they're just coming out, yeah, all good. Still very standard. We could actually try trade off the knight now, because that's coming over here, and that's the frustration that we're going to be facing. So if we do this, and they let us take it, they have to jump the other knight across to get in here again. In the meantime, what can we do that's useful? We could jump out, break at some point. Okay, but let's just continue castle. Bishop g5 does feel like a potential move here. I'm playing for some kind of action with light squares maybe. Although I also think fianchettoing is a move. Go figure. I also actually think we could oppose. And if they take back, I wonder who this would favor. We would be able to kick that knight out still. Having a pawn structure like this seems interesting. Not sure if it's specifically good. And then we could try and get a Yeah, I'm fairly certain we want to try and break somewhere. It could be that we want to try break on this side of the board. We could, for instance, push up. And then we can try coming here. They can try stop us. And we can prepare it again. They can stop us again. But I think at that point, actually this queenside break might actually be pretty good. Because this knight can't defend it. Can't get onto that square. Oh, that's not my child. That's a different one. So I don't know if this is the best plan, but I'm kind of liking a potential queenside attack here. We get a tempo, we get this in. The way to stop us would be a6, we could play a4, pairing a b5 again. Then they could get their bishop in. We could get our rook in. They could get queen in. We could get our queen in as well. We could also jump here, hitting the bishop. And if they take, I don't really think that matters too much. We could defend it. And what's our dark bishop doing in all of this chaos? Kind of not much. So do we want to trade it off quick? Do we trade it off? Maybe do we trade it off like this? And then here. And then we do this whole story. I mean, their kingside attack looks scary, but if they ever actually come at us, we would have the G file to play against, so that feels okay. Alright. We're kind of freestyling the plan here, right? I don't know if this is the right way to go. So relieving the tension is never correct in itself. But then we can force off a trade. Oh, you know what? I actually think I forgot about this plan, to trade off this way. So it might be good for us to go here and here. Oh, but normally that's before you jump your knight. Oh, okay, so we've made a bit of a mistake here with the trading. You know what, in which case actually I think let's not trade. So I think the plan was we shouldn't have played up the knight we get. We should have played here to do this, and if they play their queen in, we can play a4 to force it. Now that we haven't been able to do it, I think I'm going to go ahead with this queenside attack. Okay. Oops, kind of forgot the general like theory plan that we could have used here, but we're going to make a new plan. Alright, now b5. And I don't really mind their knight jumping in. Oh, actually, you know what? That might be where we can use our bishop to protect our knight, if we want to do that. The thing though is this knight helps us with this break, so if they snap the knight off, we might have to change directions again and try crack open the center of the game. Well, we'll see. We will see what we will see. I'm expecting a6. I think that's kind of the most natural move here. Potentially our opponent hasn't faced this before. I haven't played this before. But it seems like we can borrow a little bit from the Queen's Gambit declined exchange variation in how we break this queenside. Alright, interestingly, so importantly here in this position, this pawn kind of hits us, so not so nice. Although we could go here, they could win a pawn. That's not really something we want. We don't want to snap this off. Do we actually want to... I mean, I could go here to protect it, and then I can continue. I can actually hit him once and then go up. always have this break, but I don't know, maybe we'll do this. Take, everything's taking there. Yeah, this is more active. They can take it, obviously. This is slightly less active, but maybe long term it becomes useful. But given our plan here, otherwise maybe there's queen up actually might be good too. Just trying to make sure if they come in here, nothing bad happens immediately, but I don't think there's any immediate threat. Maybe this is a threat, I wonder. Would they go at us if we do this? You prepare it. We do something else, you break. Don't know how much we would care about that. A lot, maybe. It could be quite scary. Alright, so it's going to be one of the bishop moves or the queen move, I think. Just trying to figure out what is best here. Queen up seems okay. C2 isn't really going to be taken by any other square, and unless I play here, I don't think my queen's coming out, so maybe queen up is best in this position. And at least I'll be involved in this way, if ever that's useful. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. And if they trade off, obviously we're happy for them to lose this knight, because this is kind of the main Stonewall knight, so we don't really look forward to having them keep it. Oh wow! Okay. That is a surprise. I did not expect them to trade off that knight. I mean, this would allow us to put our knight here, and if you trade off, we take back. Protect the pawn. If you push through, then we might be in a bit of trouble. I could still do this trade off and then jump it in, and if they come, I can always trade off again. I don't think that was best. I don't think that was best. I could actually do this now, and then I can do this and then jump in afterwards and take here. And then that's their break. This feels nice. Jumping up feels good. They're probably going to play here. If they play here, then we can do this. We can snap off. Maybe they take with the queen. And then our knight just needs to be protected. But actually, we could always just take it out of the way. Yeah, okay. I think we've put our opponent kind of out of book here. So let's be happy about that. We've got a lot of dark square pawns, so we're going to trade this guy off or something, I think. If they move their queen over, slight surprise. Nope, yeah, they are doing this. And what was my plan now? Here, if they take, we have this. Here, and if they go here, we take. And then we play here. Was that my plan? I thought I had some kind of idea of what I wanted to do here now. I'm kind of blanking, to be honest. We would have this break right now actually as well. So we would end up going to the king side. This also is helped by this. They come... Oh, hang on, this was because we get this square. Oh, right, and I don't want to trade. I'm happy to actually kind of like back off and then break with my... Yeah, okay. Kind of forgot my plan there, lost a bit of time. Let's give mommy a bit more time to sleep. Oh, interesting. Queen over, so getting out of the pin. And also stopping our knight jump, which seemed so fun. Yeah, I'm actually just going to snap this knight. Maybe if they take this way, I can always jump my knight back here, I think would be where I go. Alright, never mind. And now, I think we're going to continue this way. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yes, okay. Yes, okay. Wat dink jy moet ons doen? How do we fight this situation? Yeah, take, everything takes. So we rook over first, and we just admit we're gonna fight on the king side. Yes, okay, yes, okay. What was that? Spittle? Come here. There we go. Alright, yeah, I think just bring the rook over, admit our attack. They have rook h6, queen h5, which we are still able to stop with h3. And then they can maybe try push up their pawns a bit. We'll have to see. I think it's okay though, because we'll be able to drop our knight back, and our queen can come in. Actually, on queen up, we might actually just play our bishop over, attacking the queen directly, and it'll have to take the h3 square, which seems kind of silly. Or it will have to take the h6 square, which means the rook can't come over anymore. They could also snap off our knight, but you know, their bishop is just long-term bad. That light square one isn't going anywhere. Oh, okay, buddy. Did someone fart? Was it me or you? Was it me or you? Who farted? Alright. Yeah, we've again spent a bit too much time. We'll see how black wants to continue though. I think they might be considering snapping off our knight and trying to push through their d-pawn, maybe. And if they do that, we're just going to block it up. And we also have e3 still to help kind of liquidate it. We can bring our e knight back to d1. So yeah, we'll see. Also, their queen kind of needed to be there to help push the pawn forward. So right now, they actually wouldn't be able to, and I would be able to put my queen on d4 and just stop the pawn completely. It's not a long-term plan. You don't want to keep your queen there forever, but it would help for a while. If we get to play whatever we want, we're going to play f3, e4, crack open the center with black having some isolated pawns on the e file, I think, if that's the way I see that working out. Yeah, the e6 pawn, I think. And we'll try and put some pressure on them. We also, at that point, maybe have b5. And if they take ever, then the d5 pawn hangs with check, which is good. And if they don't take, we can always take. Actually, if they don't take, we'd probably just keep on playing our other pawns up as well. a4, just going to force them to be in a position where they want to take or not. And if they ever play a6. Do we then take once? Or do we play b5? Oh wow, okay, f5. Very aggressive. Coming at us immediately. um, we could push past, which I think I've done in the past actually. I pushed because there's no clear attack here just yet. I could also take, I could jump my knight back hitting the rook. The rook will move probably here. Then I can defend it, but they'll end up coming down. Yeah, I don't think I want to open up the G file. That's kind of not my plan. So if you take here, I'm here. If you take, that's as good. So actually maybe I play e3 here, forcing you to make a decision. If you take this way, I'm going to take, and I'll have the file. And again, your light square bishop is bad. If you take this way, same point. If you take nothing, then I take. If you play h of g5, g5 weakens some squares, but it does make the position a bit tricky. Honestly, I think on g5 I might have to play back. Pawn will be here, rook will be here. And then maybe I take. And I bring my queen over? Sure, not sure. g5, are we supposed to play here? But if they take, they open us up, which I'm not excited about. Okay, I can take with my queen actually in that case, but that looks rather dangerous as well. So I think we would take with the f-pawn. At the end of the day, we just want to make sure that the file that opens up is the one we have activity. Alright, so we're going to play. Hey buddy, we should be using our time a bit faster. And also, I just realized, thank goodness, f3, we've got a block. If they take, we're hitting the rook. So we can take, and if they take, we still do okay. So yeah, g5 I think is the danger now. Although they do give us e4 in this position. g5, e4. But we don't actually want to take because we open up their light square bishop. Actually, yeah, so that's actually a point to remember. We wanted to break and take on the f file. We do not want to take on the d file because it opens up the light square bishop, and then I think black is just doing perfectly fine. So let's see. Queen up to h5 is a move, although I can hit it. Although honestly, yeah, if you do anything that isn't g5, I'm just going to take, open up the e file a little bit more. Yeah, and if you whichever way you take, I'll take back with the f pawn. If you take my knight, I hit your rook. And then after your rook moves, I can take the f pawn again. So I really think g5 is the only move for black here. It's the only one I see. h5 doesn't matter. Yeah, the important point is this f pawn. You can't push it, and if you take my knight, I hit your rook, so you have to do something else first. Hit your rook, where do you go with your rook? Then I can hit your rook again. Okay, we'll see, we'll see. I think, okay, so taking the knight at least complicates things a bit. g5 taking the knight then, I guess. Okay. Put your face too much there, you need to breathe, yeah. Oh, they moved. What did they do? h5. a4. Oh, because after they take, I have this problem. Alright, so I have to do an in-between move here, and then they come on this side of the board. That's nice. I could also push. And if they take this way... I did look at this. Then I take this pawn. I could also do nothing and let them take and just walk over. The rook comes in, which is not fun. Push, they take, I take, and I got this kind of idea there, where I can break things down, get my rook into the game, and I've got some checks and things. I also hit this pawn, maybe that matters later on. Alright, so taking past a3 is probably the most principled, but I don't actually want to give them the a file. And I don't want them to take, so this definitely feels better for me. I'm not threatening here, so they're probably going to take in this case. That's obviously a long-term advantage for them on this side of the board. Maybe it's this, and then here. So once you push your... So I can't take, because that's problemos. Oh, I could actually... Then you have to come up. Then I can move out of the way. This actually isn't so bad. Take here, I go here. If you take, I take there. So maybe you drop your rook up first, then I can move my rook out of the way. Oh, there's so many options here. I just don't want to give them the light square bishop, basically. Alright, this actually looks okay. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but this looks okay right now. And if they do anything, it gives me a tempo to move my rook out of the way. And I don't really care where they bring their bishop. I can just move out of the way again. This way. Sneaky in between move though. Maybe a3 was a little bit less intense. Maybe I chose the most intense of the two options. The other thing, if I take the a rook, is that your back line is becoming a bit weak. I could sneak my queen in, or I could make you trade off, and then your light square bishop is still bad. At least kind of. Yeah, buddy. Here we go. Sleepy, sleepy. Okay. Okay, they take here. Now I have to take this. Oh, if I can take this way, I guess. Because if they take, I take here. I'm gonna take this way now. I prefer to keep things closed off on that side of the board. I don't want them to have some sneaky opening. And also right now I think our knight is just great. They have to drop their bishop back in order to defend. Oh wow, look at this. Here, if we take and they take, then we can take again with check. Uh-oh, our connection's bad. Please come back. Seriously, that is a new level of frustration. Okay. Alright, not your fault, my man. You're good. You did great. It's just having the internet drop. Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay, so this plan with c4 was fun, but it's probably not the right way to play. We should have remembered about, against the Stonewall, about playing b3 to play bishop a3 to trade off the dark square bishop. And if they play their queen up, you play a4 still threatening it, and it's kind of impossible for black to stop, really. Alright, we'll look at that later. So here was interesting plan. Very surprised they took the knight. I don't think that was best. And this I felt was good. Maybe in this position I had to play f4 directly, just cementing the knight. And there was never a f4 from black. Huh? Maybe that was the way to just kind of clutch, just to crunch down the position. I was looking to break, but actually what I should have maybe done is just say, you have no space, you can't do anything. We'll see with the engine, if it's worth it. I do think e3 was a good move, and here probably taking was wrong. I did see there was some in-betweens and stuff, and I don't think it was necessary to lose the game up front, but unfortunately, the situation became bad. So options here were a3, b5, and taking. Taking is what our opponent wanted to happen, so a little bit silly that that is the case. Um, a3, take. I'm sorry, a3, take. What I didn't like about this was I didn't want the rook running down the file here, but honestly, it probably isn't actually that bad. Pushing past what I didn't like is what I give them this passer potential on this side of the board. I was thinking I would have to play a5 just to force them to move the one pawn at least, so it's not at like a dual pawn that can come forward. Um, Although maybe in this case I could have just continued with this plan immediately. They obviously could have just sidestepped it and said no thank you, in which case, I don't know, we could have jumped there and traded off some pawns, I guess. I don't know, we would have probably just taken here. Yeah, a5 was a good move, so maybe a3 was the move to go. So we took, we found this pin, and here I was scared to take this way because this looks like it might be mate threaty kind of stuff, right? So I took this way, queen out, and here I hung a piece. I hung the light square bishop, which is helping me. So what they're threatening is to bring their rook over, and then it's trouble here. But actually, actually, I am in time. I could have gone up, for instance, to defend these pawns, and after the rook over, I could have gone here, which defend. Then I've got all of these squares defended, so they don't actually have an attack. And then I can bring my queen across. Okay, so yeah, but I actually just moved my bishop up immediately and hung the piece. They take back, and as soon as they play here, they have a mate threat I can't stop, unfortunately. So what I should have done is I should have played up here, probably. It's one of the only ways to make a plan here. So king h2, and they can check me, but there's no immediate way for them to mate me. I'd have this to get on here. Um, yeah, I'd have to be careful where they bring their bishop, of course, but yeah, this is bad. But anyways, I did this thinking I just have to get out of the way, and GG. Alright, so let's have a look at the analysis board. Alright, our opponent was a fair bit lower rated, so we lost a bit unfortunately. But that happens, so first off, let's just look at that main line. Anybody, I'm slipping off my chair. Oh, okay, let me just get up a little bit here. Okay, bishop g2, this is the fianchetto variation, d5, knight f3 is the main way. Yes, knight c6 is not really sure if they knight f3, c6, castle, bishop d, b3, and this is the plan I was talking about. Queen e, a4, forcing it through, a5, bishop a3. They can't stop you from trading off. And now they have a bad bishop and a silly pawn structure. So we can jump in there, we can bring the knight back. Let's see, I think I would have brought the knight back. Okay. Okay, I see. This is the plan all the way around to d3. I like that. Now this d5 square is ours forever. Knight a6 squares well, scores well for black. c5 breaking the center. We say, no, never mind, we're going to do this. And then a lot of rooks come to the center and the game continues. Still, looks fun. Yeah, does look fun. Hmm? Alright, unfortunately that's not what we did. We played knight c3 first, which I think I should stop doing. I don't know, I do this a lot, but I don't think it's the best move. Knight f3, bishop d, castle, castle, queen c2. We played c4, which c5, which is a move actually. 23 games, 35. Okay, so it's still an open game. Yeah, you're waking up, my man. You're waking up. Just give me a second. Almost done here. Almost done here. c5, bishop c, bishop f4. Oh, okay, yeah, so this is actually the plan I had. Bishop f4 to trade off the dark square bishop. Alright, so this plan is also something people have played. Yes, yes. e3 is the way you would eventually do that then. Okay, let's think best move for them, I guess. b4, and they take it out. Okay. Okay, this seems to have scored well for black though. Take back with the d pawn. I would take with the b pawn here because I want to keep the rest of the pawns stuck. Oopsie. I want to keep the rest of the pawns stuck. This would be what I do. So we open up the b file, but I don't think that's terrible. We could always snap off this knight if we have to, and then put our knight over or bring our knight back. You could snap first, but that's kind of silly. Alright, interesting enough. We went b4, knight e4, queen c2. Yep, still in good company here. Masters database. And they took, which can't be right. So let's just look at top lead chess. Knight xc3, knight d7, a6, a5, good for black. It seems b6. Okay, so this queenside attack is pretty good for them. I mean, this just doesn't look like it can. Okay, a4. Alright, so here they just continued with their plan, right, Gregory? Oh, and they didn't even stop them. f4, b5, f takes, queen e, over there, e5, f5, e4, knight d2, knight f6, b6. Oh my goodness, what a pawn structure. Rook a2, interesting. That must have been a slip. Yeah, that was just a slip. Clearly what they were doing was this. Oh, sorry. They were doing this, and then what, pushing here? Or bringing the light square bishop and the dark square bishop doesn't got any. The light square bishop out somewhere, I guess. Yeah, and then you're hoping they do something stupid like that so you can get an opening maybe. Alright, okay. Anyway, we continue our game. So they took, we played our bishop up, over, in, yes, yes, still good. +2, just to take the pawn directly. Same situation, but now we have the f pawn taken care of. So you take here, and then we oppose your rook. You probably trade it, to be honest. Okay, but we're just crashing in the situation. I would take, I think, with the g pawn because I don't want to open up their rook. I like having the activity I have. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think I would have played here, yeah. Okay, so this was better. Oh, bxa is just bad. Throws our advantage away. What about a3? Also bad. Okay, so we had to just say, it doesn't matter about your pawn, we're taking this one, and this is the important pawn. What if we don't take this pawn? That's also okay. But we can't move here because then the rook comes in, I guess. No. No, we can. Okay. We just have to protect the pawn long term, I guess. Oh, that's a pity. Alright, so we took this way, and here we had f5. Okay, but how does that address the threat they are giving us? Oh, interesting. And then if you, sorry, if you check me, I just walk away. And importantly, not onto f2 where you can check me with your bishop. Interesting. I don't think I would have done that. What about... this is still okay. This is still okay. And when they come over, can I do this? Oh, this is losing. Okay, so the knight couldn't move. The knight couldn't move, but we could have just walked our king sideways and they don't have an attack. Something very important to have looked at, and I did not look at that, but we were a little bit struck for time, so... Oh, that's so unfortunate. Okay. So our general plan was good. E3 is best. And we should have just ignored this. Oh, what about B5? That's also something I was considering. B5. And then they snap this way. I would have taken here for sure. And I was considering playing A4 against those pawns, but that's apparently bad. Apparently you want to play A3. Okay, now they're doubling up against my pawn. I could defend it. I could still defend it. Okay, so basically as long as we could try and keep their E6 pawn from moving, that proves the light square bishop is bad, and we have time to other moves. So, okay, it sucks to lose, very frustrating, but we did not know the correct opening plan, and we made a critical mistake here, not taking the pawn. Not taking the pawn. This was the continuation. Alright. Well, very fun, very unfortunate, very frustrating with the connection dropping during the game. There's unfortunately not much I can do about that. That is the infrastructure of the building we are in. But we will try and make a plan in the future. I think for now, that is going to be it. All the best, and as always, keep on improving. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.